What happens when one of the world's most celebrated performers trades his glittering life of global adoration for the grueling realities of a military camp? When BTS's Jungkook, a name synonymous with unmatched artistry, youthful charm, and incredible resilience, joined his fellow countrymen in mandatory military service, the world held its breath. For months, fans speculated about his role, and insiders whispered about how this cultural phenomenon would adapt to the rigid routines of army life. But no one, not even his most ardent followers, could have anticipated the shocking twist. Jungkook was assigned to infantry training. The announcement sent ripples of surprise through his training camp and a tidal wave of mixed emotions across the globe. What does it mean for someone like Jungkook to take on one of the toughest roles in military service? How is he adjusting to a life far removed from the applause of sold-out arenas? And what do those who serve alongside him think of the global icon's transformation from superstar to soldier? From the moment Jungkook enlisted, his journey was met with immense scrutiny. South Korea's mandatory military service is a national obligation, and for celebrities of Jungkook's caliber, fulfilling it often comes with added challenges. The youngest member of BTS, Jungkook, had grown up in the public eye, celebrated for his unparalleled versatility and humble spirit. Yet, military life offered no space for star treatment, and he entered basic training determined to blend in. Observers described him as quiet but focused, a recruit who sought to excel without drawing attention. Yet, as weeks turned into months, the intensity of training began to reveal a different side of Jungkook. While many fans expected him to receive an administrative or ceremonial assignment, roles often given to public figures due to their visibility, Jungkook's placement in infantry training came as a complete shock. Unlike administrative roles, infantry assignments demand unwavering physical stamina, mental toughness, and an unrelenting commitment to teamwork. The day the assignments were announced, the atmosphere in Jungkook's training division was electric. For the recruits, this marked a defining moment, the transition from basic training to the specialized roles that would shape their military careers. For Jungkook, it was the culmination of weeks of hard work, camaraderie, and introspection. When the commanding officer called out his name, the room fell silent. The word infantry seemed to hang in the air like a thunderclap. Those present described Jungkook's initial reaction as one of genuine surprise. His typically composed demeanor gave way to a moment of visible shock, an expression that spoke volumes. "He was completely caught off guard," said Private Lee, a fellow recruit who witnessed the moment. "I think everyone was. You could see him processing what this would mean not just for him, but for his role as someone millions of people look up to." Jungkook's surprise quickly turned into quiet determination, a resolve that would soon earn him admiration from peers and commanding officers alike. Infantry training is among the most demanding aspects of military life. Soldiers in this division are tasked with preparing for frontline combat, enduring grueling physical exercises, mastering tactical maneuvers, and developing unshakable mental resilience. Days often start before dawn with intense drills and extend late into the night with lessons on strategy and survival. For Jungkook, the transition to infantry training meant leaving behind not only the comforts of civilian life but also the routines of basic training, which now seemed tame by comparison. His peers were initially skeptical of how a global superstar would adapt to such harsh conditions. Would he struggle under the physical demands? Would his celebrity status create tension within the group? Yet, Jungkook's actions quickly silenced any doubts. Despite the initial shock of his assignment, Jungkook threw himself into infantry training with an intensity that surprised even his commanding officers. He was often seen at the forefront of group exercises, pushing himself to exceed expectations. During endurance drills, he consistently demonstrated his ability to keep up with some of the most physically capable recruits. "He's not just doing the bare minimum," said Sergeant Park, one of Jungkook's trainers. "He's pushing himself to the limit, proving that he's not here to ride on his name. He's here to serve just like everyone else." Jungkook's discipline and work ethic quickly earned him the respect of his peers. Private Choi, who bunked with Jungkook during training, described him as someone who led by example. "He doesn't talk about being a leader, but you can see it in the way he acts. When things get tough, he doesn't complain. He just keeps going." While Jungkook's outward composure impressed those around him, there were moments when the emotional weight of his new reality became evident. Late at night, away from the intensity of training, his bunkmates noticed a quieter, more introspective side of him. There were nights when he'd sit by the window just looking out, recalled Private Kim. He didn't say much, but you could tell he was thinking deeply about his fans, his team, his future. It's not easy for anyone to be away from everything they know, but for someone like him, who's used to such a different life, it must be even harder. These glimpses of vulnerability humanized Jungkook in the eyes of his peers. For them, he was no longer just a global superstar. He was a fellow soldier, grappling with the same challenges they faced. News of Jungkook's assignment to the infantry quickly made headlines, sparking a wave of reactions from fans and media outlets around the world. Some expressed concern about the physical and emotional toll such a role would take on him, while others praised his courage and resilience. Jungkook has always been someone who doesn't back down from a challenge, wrote one fan on Twitter. If anyone can handle this, it's him. We're so proud of you, Jungkook. Others pointed out the significance of his assignment as a reflection of his character. He could have easily used his status to avoid such a demanding role, but he didn't, commented another fan. This just proves how humble and hardworking he is. Lieutenant Colonel Kim, the officer in charge of Jungkook's division, admitted that the decision to assign him to infantry training was not made lightly. We considered his capabilities, his attitude during basic training, and his potential to inspire those around him, Kim explained. Jungkook demonstrated all the qualities we look for in an infantry soldier: resilience, determination, and a willingness to work as part of a team. Kim acknowledged the unique pressures Jungkook faced as a global icon but emphasized that his assignment was based on merit, not fame. In the military, everyone starts on equal footing. Jungkook has earned this role through his actions, not his name. Jungkook's journey in the military has had a profound impact on both his fans and his fellow soldiers. For fans, his willingness to take on such a demanding role has deepened their admiration for him. He's showing us that it's okay to step out of your comfort zone, to take on challenges even when they seem overwhelming, said one fan. He's leading by example, not just as a performer but as a person. For his peers, Jungkook's presence has been a source of motivation. When you see someone like him who could have had an easier path, working just as hard as everyone else, it pushes you to do better, said Private As Jungkook continues his journey in the infantry. Those who know him best believe he will rise to the occasion. His resilience, humility, and determination have already left a lasting impression on those around him, and many are eager to see how this experience will shape him in the years to come. For Jungkook, the road ahead will undoubtedly be one of the most challenging he has faced. But if his actions so far are any indication, he will approach it with the same dedication and passion that have defined his career.